Welcome back to my channel. I'm going hard today. So, if you guys have been watching, thank you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. And we're going to get started with the video. Today, we're reviewing creepy things found in the woods. That's one place I do not go to. I am not a woods type of person, never been, never will be. I don't go camping. Let's jump in.
Woodlands and forested areas can be some of the most frightening places to explore. From historical tragedies to unsolved mysteries, do you dare venture into the unknown? Join me as we take a look at 15 of the creepiest things ever found in the woods. Number 15. Missing posters. Countless people around the world regularly go for walks in their local woods.
I don't know
Not just
why.
because of the exercise, but because of the way that through the seasons you never know quite what you'll see next. Will it be a new outcrop of mushrooms, perhaps a rare bird, or the trees in full bloom?
See birds right out my
That's why
window.
James Rankin, a local of Long Island, liked going for hikes near his home. But something that happened in October of 2016 changed all that. As he passed by the dense trees of Berkeley-Jackson County Park in Huntington, New York, he reached a clearing and couldn't believe his eyes. Attached to the surrounding trees were more than a dozen missing posters, all of which were from real cases in the New York area, and all of which had been recently printed and placed in protective plastic. They were mainly of women, but there were a few men too, and to make things even worse.
That's a lot of missing posters out there. Like, you would think if you see missing posters out there, you would go back the way you came from. And then on top of that, they have the posters laminated. So they really are looking for these people. Like, they want to make sure that even if it rains, it doesn't mess up the poster. So, I mean, that's unreal. I ain't going to the
Worse,
woods.
there was what appeared to be a shrine in the center of the clearing, made up of a series of carefully placed twigs. Worried that he may have found the hideout of a serial killer, or
You want to go camping? I don't do that stuff.
perhaps something far worse, he reported what he had seen to the local police department, and it was only then that he found out what was happening. The posters had been put up and the area cleared in preparation for an upcoming Halloween party, and within a few weeks, everything had been taken down and removed.
Oh, okay.
Even though he knew the truth, Rankin has still struggled to be as adventurous with his walk since then, and whenever he does, he's always slightly anxious about what he'll see around the next corner. Number 14. Human skeleton. People
So that was crazy because
choose to go into the woods for a range of different activities.
that was not a real missing poster. It was for a Halloween party. Creepy, but whatever. Don't put my name on no one's poster.
Some of which can seem peculiar to most others, and one of the strangest and most tragic tales was revealed after a gruesome discovery that was made in a forest in the Shatura district of Moscow in Russia. A hiker had been walking near the village of Shamusty one evening in April of 2019. He noticed an unusual depression in the forest floor that at the time was covered in leaf litter.
Body.
Looking closer, he saw what appeared to be human remains, and
Told you.
unsure whether it was a hoax or not, he dug a little further. He soon realized that this was, in fact, a real skeleton and immediately contacted the authorities. The find brought an end to a missing persons case that had been active in the region for about 2 years. After Ivan Kucherev had gone missing in 2017. Despite scouring the area, no trace of him had been found until this new revelation. But in many ways, it raised more questions than it answered. Kucherev's skeleton was still chained and padlocked to a tree. And a nearby collection of 5 sets of handcuffs, 3 further chains, 6 padlocks, and a book about knots were also found. The official explanation was that the unfortunate victim had been training to become an escape artist, and that something had gone horribly
My
wrong.
goodness.
But police at the time also investigated the possibility that this was a bondage activity gone wrong, or he had been murdered by a local gang.
The first part sounds real.
The truth may never be known for certain, but if you ever do plan on
This was TikTok era. They'd have been vlogging the whole
yourself to
thing.
a remote tree in the woods, it would probably be best to tell someone what you're doing, just in case you find yourself in need of assistance. Number 13, Holocaust artifacts. During the atrocities committed by the Nazis during the 1930s and 40s, more than 1,000 concentration camps were built, and the survivors from each one told stories of how horrific the treatment there truly was. Many were turned into museums so the crimes would never.
This Wi-Fi. I'm gonna go find another spot, y'all. Next video.
Around them will never be the same again. One of these camps, known as Stutthof, was near the modern-day town of Szczytowo in the countryside of northern Poland, and was
this Wi-Fi, y'all.
Actually the first to be built outside of Germany during the war. Or more than 110,000 people were held there, with more than 85,000 believed to have been killed. Recently, a group of hikers exploring the woods many miles from where the camp was made a sobering discovery. In the dirt were a large number of shoes, prison uniforms, belts, and other objects that in some places were piled knee-high. It's hard to think that they had been there for so long without anyone noticing them, and they were almost certainly the possessions of prisoners held in the camp. How they ended up there and what happened to their owners will never be known. But
just don't go to the woods, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all.
It acts as a further reminder of how truly terrible humans can be if evil ideas and policies are allowed to take hold.
Nothing good happens in the woods.
One night in November of 2015, residents around the San Francisco Bay Area began reporting mysterious lights in the sky. They were moving in seemingly impossible ways.
We see that a lot now. All these camera footage.
This, of course, began a frenzy of suggestions that UFOs were
I heard they coming back.
The area, and things reached a fevered point when a local also happened to find something bizarre in the nearby woods and shared a picture of it online.
Always in the
woods. The lady who
woods.
found it said that she heard it scream and saw it deflate slightly before it became completely lifeless.
What?
And despite denying that it could possibly be an alien, experts around the world struggled to identify what it actually was. Even though a reasonable explanation was put forward, and it turns out the strange discovery could have well been linked to the light seen in the sky, rather than being an attack by extraterrestrials. They were actually test launches of Trident nuclear missile systems.
What kind of missile system is that? Looking like a placenta.
Explosions. What had been claimed to be an alien in the woods was therefore likely to be the fetus of a deer or a cow, where the parent had been so startled by the lights and sounds that it suffered a miscarriage.
I can see that. That makes sense. That makes much more
Number 11,
sense.
booby traps. When you're hiking through the woods, it's reasonable to expect to have to take a certain
Come on, Wi-Fi.
degree of care as you trudge through the undergrowth, just in case you come across a dangerous animal, a precipitous edge, or some other type of naturally formed hazard. But you probably wouldn't be looking out for human-made objects that are purposefully dangerous. That, though, was when a forestry officer found in April of 2012 on a routine patrol along the Big Springs Trail in Provo Canyon, around 35 miles to the north of Salt Lake City, in Utah. After spotting a tripwire on the ground, he looked up to see a frightening spiked boulder that had
Booby
been rigged to
traps.
swing at a victim at head height.
Booby traps in the
As well as a
woods.
second one intended to push a person into a hidden bed of wooden spikes. The rock itself weighed around 20 pounds, and had the ranger not found the devices, they would almost certainly have either killed or severely injured someone. Just a few days later, 2 teenagers were arrested for setting them up. It was just a matter of luck that their scheme hadn't done what they had intended. Number 10, clothes. In March of 2019, David Carota, his wife, their daughter, and a couple of their daughter's friends were exploring a strip of woodland behind their home in Bergen County, New Jersey, which is next to a major highway that passes through the region. Suddenly, one of them noticed some fabric in the undergrowth, and when they took a closer look, realized that it was a pile of clothes. They did what most people would and pick them up, but dropped them straight away once they noticed something unusual. The jeans, bra, t-shirt, and underwear had all been cut in a way that appeared to suggest they had been forcibly removed from whoever was wearing them. And there were some
Bodied.
signs of what looked like bloodstains. They, of course, called the authorities immediately, fearing what may have happened to the owner of the clothes. And to this day, no answer has been found. The police were unable to link them to any missing persons reports or crimes, and because of this, they weren't able to be sent for testing. People have since suggested that the clothes could have well been cut by paramedics treating someone. This is why they were neatly placed in a pile. But on occasions like those, the medics would normally be expected to clean up after themselves. It remains a complete mystery, but one that has led to residents being just that extra bit cautious near the woods, just in case something untoward has happened there. Number 9, sacrificial altar.
I don't see a trend going on here. Just don't go to the woods. Nothing good happened in the woods.
Jungles and forests across South and Central America conceal countless historic artifacts from ancient civilizations that once spread across the region and new archaeological discoveries that are constantly being found by expeditions that have purposefully gone to look for them, but also by complete accident. All these are often new statues, structures, or ornaments. Sometimes people come across objects that have a far creepier relevance. In 2018, for example, what seemed to be a stone tablet was discovered on the Guatemalan border with Mexico and had been there for so long that the roots of a tree had entombed it and completely grown around it. It took researchers almost a year to meticulously remove it from the tree, and it was only then that they realized how important to find it was, with carvings of the previously unknown.
Sometimes you should leave stuff where they at. You know what I mean? It's there. It wasn't bothering nobody. It's there for a purpose. Just leave it alone.
King Chatowichak, along with a double-headed serpent. This was a Mayan altar that was around 1,500 years old. While it was clean after it was removed, however, this would have been an altar upon which human sacrifices were performed, and it's quite possible that hundreds of people would have lost their lives on top of this seemingly innocuous piece of stone. It was undoubtedly a special discovery, but a reminder of how dark, by today's standards, some of the rituals that were performed on the continent truly were.
I don't even want to touch stuff like that. That means they got bodies on it, okay? Not bodies. They should have left that where it was at.
Number 8, freezer with body parts. As a species, we produce an almost unbelievable amount of garbage, and while most of it is
Recycled bag.
disposed of in a landfill or by being recycled, it's not uncommon to see objects simply discarded by the side of a road
I say burn everything.
or in a forest. That's what a resident in Fairbanks, Alaska thought they had found in April of 2021 when they saw a freezer sticking out of the snow in a local wood. When they opened it to see what was inside, they couldn't believe their eyes.
Bodies? On bodies? On bodies?
The troopers that were subsequently called to investigate it
On ice?
confirmed that it actually contained human remains, which were later identified
Guys, come on, it's Wi-Fi.
as being those of a 67-year-old woman from Anchorage who hadn't been seen for more than a year. Clearly a case of homicide. The full details of the discovery still haven't been released because, worryingly, very little evidence leading to a perpetrator was found.
I mean,
And with nothing to go on, it's already been classified as a cold case.
literally.
Number 7,
Unfortunately.
German hand grenade. With so much fighting taking place in the country during both the First and Second World Wars, there's actually a specialized bomb disposal squad in Germany called the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Service. Said to be the busiest department of its type in the world, they're believed to deactivate a bomb at least every 2 weeks, unexploded ordnance being found throughout the country. Nothing seemed too out of the ordinary then in April of 2021 when they arrived on a scene in a forest near the city of Passau, which is on the border with Austria. A jogger had found a transparent bag in the undergrowth with an object inside
Don't touch it.
that looked suspiciously like a hand grenade. The bomb disposal officers agreed that looked suspicious, carefully opened the bag to deal with their grenade and checked the other contents too. And that's when they realized that nothing was what it seemed. The grenade was actually made from soft rubber and was in a bag with a bottle of lubricant and a pack of condoms.
All right, guys, I'm going to end this video. My dad is calling, so let me see what's up. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hello?